Hey, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Wish You Were Beer Show. Thank you for stopping by. This is a weekly beer review show that we do every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time here on YouTube. We also stream it through Facebook and Twitter, so you can find it there as well. If you are watching us through YouTube or Facebook, make sure that you're logged in and you can comment along with us the entirety of the show, much like our good friend Gabriel just did. See that? You might even get your shit drug in here. Good, bad, or ugly. I'll drag it in. But thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Make sure you go down to the About section here on the YouTube page specifically. Make sure you like and follow us. Also, that's got all our different social medias, which are listed down on the bottom of the screen as well. Andy, I thought y'all were super busy. You shouldn't be here.
Yeah, I just found out, even though we literally just texted yesterday.
I love how upset Tiffany had no idea this was happening.
Yeah, I am upset.
Okay.
I gave you very solid advice.
You know what would make you feel better when you're upset? You can go to our TikTok, Twitter, or Instagram. Find some additional content there. You could also go to the page. You could also even go to our website there and go to our merch. And I know shopping typically helps people feel better when they're angry.
Yeah, until I look at my bank account. Ugh, that was a mistake.
I'm pretty sure that Andrew and Katie are live on our TikTok right now. So
that would be amazing. Nope. Well, nope.
Not there. Okay. Katie didn't agree.
But make sure you follow along with us through all the social media channels. We spend a lot of times hanging out there and doing individual events there between Phil and St. Martin and us here in Virginia as well. So, Jack, good to see you on here, buddy. I just saw Jack this morning, actually, and he was kind enough to give me a Nost beer that I haven't had yet, which you guys know, Uselfinch and Nost. We've had one of their beers on the show previously, but this is Dedication Breeds Perfection, which is a Belgian double.
And it's fantastic.
And
Jack, of course,
well done, and I hate you for it.
Of course, they're killing it with their can art too. I love the general design that they have that they just keep doing.
Yep, absolutely. That one's really good. He did give us a couple other beers as well that I'm excited about that we're going to be trying over the next couple of nights.
Yes.
So appreciate it, Jack.
Yes.
Where was I? Make sure you like and subscribe and follow along. That's the biggest thing. So
I was just still upset at Andy and Katie, but
I know
that's fine.
Visit our social media
now.
Come hang out with us in the social media world. But other than that, like I said, we do this every Thursday. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you share it with somebody who might like it as well. In the meantime, I'm Daniel. That's Tiffany as always, but Tiffany's actually here, which is nice. And of course, the beautiful bearded man, Phil. Phil, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing well. The weather is getting better here in St. Martin because normally it's terrible. So
it's been terrible.
It's been rough. It rains for 5 minutes a day. It's awful. But besides that, doing great.
Gosh, I worry about you.
I'm excited because it's International Gose Day.
It
is International Gose Day. And I'm also looking
for... No, not international. It's just national.
Well, let's say it's international.
Oh, I think it's international.
Let's say it's international, and this is the first everyone's heard of it.
Yeah, let's not go against the name of the show tonight called International Gose Day Show.
Well, all the notes were National Gose Day.
I would never goes against.
Hold on.
The shit. See what I'm doing there?
Yes, please look it up to show how wrong I was.
It is international, peoples.
Thanks. I did a lot of research, obviously.
So basically, in all of the trivia tonight, change national to internationals in your mind.
I don't think I wrote it out.
Okay,
I think it was just the title of the Word document that I was using.
Nice.
That's all.
Well,
I'm still recovering.
Phil, are you drinking anything, or are you taking the night?
I am. No. So I, unfortunately, and I'm very sad about this, but I searched and searched here on this island that's very well known for their variety of beers. They've got Corona. They've got Heineken. So I was unable to find a Gose.
Okay.
But I do have, I'm going to introduce a beer while you're drinking your Gose. I did find a beer here because they do have a lot of beers from Europe. So one came in from Paris. So I brought one along for that.
Nice.
But to start the show, I'm at least going to go the wheat route and I'm drinking Tripping Animals. It's the Harvest Mouse Wheat Ale.
Oh yeah, that one was
You know,
good.
Tripping Animals, good friend of the show, so I thought I'd drink their Harvest Mouse.
We really enjoyed that one. Oh my goodness, Simo, you're up so late / early.
But he has no work.
God, and you're cracking a New England IPA. Well done, soldier.
Yes.
There you go.
Well done.
Good luck out there. That is a time frame that I am not familiar with.
Usually, if I'm cracking a beer at 1 a.m, things have gone terribly wrong.
Yep. Yeah.
Tiffany has Irish goodbye'd me. I'm at the fire.
100%.
Yeah.
I am very good at Irish goodbye.
That was recently, actually.
Oh yeah, no, that was like a couple weeks ago. It was like 9 p.m. and I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and then I just never came back. I was just like in bed.
And I'm sure Daniel just fell asleep wherever he was.
No, so I
don't know what time you came in.
No, so Kevin from Tradition was over here, and we had a bonfire, and we were casually walking in and out of the garage, grabbing beers out of the fridge without paying any attention to what they were. Obviously nothing in the door, no show beers. I was to have 10 beers. I was very responsible about it. But
I mean, I gotta say, the 2 years backyard is probably the most dangerous place to be for drinking.
No, I disagree.
It's so easy. You just keep going inside, grabbing one, going inside, you don't even know how many you've had. That's what I'm saying. It's dangerous.
I mean, there's definitely some moles and voles.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what do you twist your ankle?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
That's why I was like, it's flat-ish.
No. I don't think I've ever walked out. I don't think I've ever walked back inside from a bonfire place sober. So
this is fair.
I've stumbled in, never walked.
We actually were just talking about doing some sort of like bottle share at our house with a bonfire. So for those of you who are local, if you have any bottles or cans,
anything random in your fridge,
or just want to rummage through their house. Yeah.
Is this Kevy or is this Abby? I don't understand.
It's fine. Everyone's fine.
Confusing.
Speaking of local people who may have some beers to share, we will be doing a bonfire at some point. Kevin is the one Irish goodbye with Daniel.
Yes.
So head brewer, and then Abby is the assistant brewer over at Tradition Brewing.
Correct.
Yes.
Well done. Your memory's working like a champ despite your lungs.
Today was day 1 back on my ADHD medication, so I am feeling great.
That's good.
Yeah. The
great.
Last 2 weeks were rough.
Yeah. I'm aware.
Yeah.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Boston lager because it was easy. And let's just keep it simple.
Just like the women from Boston.
Well, who's this Boston beer company you speak of?
Samuel, I believe, is the
one if by land,
Adams.
2 if by sea. I'm familiar with him.
It's Adams. Samuel Adams.
Every now and again, though, we always find the Sam Adams sampler.
No, the sweater weather pack is my jam. I love it.
You gotta get the old Fezziwig.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that means. I assume it's sexual, so I just agreed with you.
Oh yeah, very sexual.
Very.
Okay.
I love a hard Fezziwig. I don't know what that means again, so I don't know if I'm using the reference correct or.
I just immediately just picture the white wigs that in England they wear during
that's probably
court.
Accurate.
It's basically my hair but white, and then it's on someone with a robe, which is I'm basically just in a green one. It's fine.
True story.
Sam Adams should make a Sam Jackson. That would be great.
That would be 100% great.
If you're new around here, then you know that we make a new shirt for every show. If you
want I forgot about the shirt already.
We're already 10 minutes in. I'm going to talking about merch. We got to pay the bills. So if you are looking for a new beer shirt, I think everyone should get this one. I even made this one in multiple colors so people could really choose if they wanted it. If you weren't here last week, Tiffany was dying. So she was not on the show last week. So it inspired me to make this one. Makes no sense. We're all slowly dying. Might as well drink beer.
I think it makes good sense, and I'm not sure if I am happy or sad about the cartoonish exclamation point, but I think it makes it look like an old Western like bar sign. You know what I mean?
Look, I broke all the rules on this shirt by putting like 12 different fonts and goofy little thing, like nothing about it.
There's zero consistency to it, and it's fantastic.
That's apparently this week's shirt is me as a old white dude who is part of the judicial system in England.
And it just says Sam Jackson.
It's just you, but I just Photoshop your hair to be white. It fit right in.
You're not that good at Photoshop.
I think I am. Have you seen this? I mean,
valid point.
Yeah.
I apologize for going after your talent. That's on me.
Yeah, rude.
Oh, Lord of mercy. So, Phil, what are you getting into this weekend then? You got exciting plans? Tired of the beach yet? Just gonna lounge around?
you know what? I have yet to revisit Pelican Brewery here, so I might go there.
Nice.
Then there's also another brewery that I also have, and they've got a whole like restaurant. It's the Dutch Blonde Beer Bar. Oh, that's a lot. And that's a little further out, so I might head down there. And then, actually, this weekend, I just remembered a coworker who knows I do this show. He was invited to a beer tasting somewhere.
Cool.
So I think it's going to be a bunch of like Belgian beers, which are not my favorite. So I'm looking forward to like trying ones from here or ones that have been brought in from Europe. And
yeah, I love that.
I mean, I'm just happy to be drinking beer. So
true story. And I think every now and again too, like when it's not your style, if you're in an event like that that's really hyper focused on that, usually they'll probably be better than the normal ones you've had in some capacity. Yeah. But
or at least you'll have a better idea of what your rating scale is for that style.
Sure.
Because you can start actually figuring out what is good and what is bad within the same style.
And I definitely don't like. So I'm not a huge Belgian fan, so it's not like I order a flight of Belgian beers and try them all next to each other to really experience them. So that could be kind of interesting to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when you're drinking all of the same style like that too, you're not wrecking your palate as much as if you got a flight, like one's an IPA, one's a stout, one's a Belgian.
Anytime you throw an IPA into a stout, it's got to be the last one you drink because like the hot burn is so real between that.
No, I go a nice jalapeno beer first.
Yeah,
and then make my way down.
It's my fucking jam.
Hazy jalapeno is it's the way you go.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Do you got any beer plans this weekend?
Yeah, I think we do.
Always.
Yeah, I know, always. So Eric, who we had on the show a while back ago from Benchtop over in Norfolk, Benchtop's anniversary is this weekend. So I think we're gonna try to swing by there and go hang out.
I feel like there's just always anniversaries at every brewery that you're going to. How many anniversary parties have you been to lately?
I feel like everyone just opened up.
It's right in the same time frame. Yeah, because even Jessie over at Tradition was joking about it. She was like, "Oh, it's anniversary season." Because Tradition had theirs.
Yep.
VBC's is off usually.
Yep,
Ouzel Finch had theirs recently. Like everybody kind of has them within that same realm.
Ouzel Finch
I think all the breweries there are just teenager relationships. I think they're celebrating their 3-month anniversary. They're doing 6-month anniversary. Like
first kiss, yeah.
I mean,
first real penetration.
Oh God, I can't wait to celebrate that one.
Oh, trust me. It's a big party.
Do we count the attempt?
Oh, no, we don't count the attempt.
Well, tonight we are celebrating, I believe, International Gose Day.
Correct.
So with that, we're 15 minutes in. I think it's time to learn a thing or two about Goses.
How are we going to do that?
We're going to play a little history and or facts.
So for those of you who might be unfamiliar with the show, or if it's your first time, this is typically the portion of the show where we're going to do a little bit of trivia. We just like the history and facts slide so much that it's never going to go away.
True.
So sorry, very distracted by this. Just heavy cuddles, no questions. Fair. But so this is the portion where we're going to go through a little bit of some trivia. Typically, we do it on the style of beer. If we have a brewery on, we'll do it about some questions about the brewery or the beer that we're having. Kind of goes all over the place in that capacity. So if you're logged into YouTube or Facebook, again, you can comment along and play trivia with us. So make sure, as Tiffany asks the questions, throw your answer up in the comment section, and we'll see who gets the most right. Spoiler alert, it's historically me if you've never seen the show.
Very true.
Yeah. Okay.
And again, since it's International Gose Day, we're going to be doing trivia not on a specific beer, but probably more on the style.
It is 100% on the style.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right.
I'm for cuddles.
Yeah, I know.
All right. True or false? Gose is a warm fermented wheat beer.
Oh, I'm going to be so bad at this. This is historically not even my favorite style either. I don't drink a lot of them, nor have I ever gone out of my way to know what makes it.
Recall from a litany of our past shows.
We just talked about shooting a promo that me and Phil talked about 2 days ago that I don't remember.
And I remember, but I was like half asleep in the other room.
Right.
On like cough medicine.
Yeah. So this is a warm fermented wheat beer.
Oh,
I'm
not a huge Gose fan either, and so I'm going to assume it's because it's warm fermented.
Scott,
just sounds gross.
How does Scott not own our shirt already of the true false in the middle? Maybe.
It's a good one.
It is. That's probably one of my favorite ones yet, to be honest with you. I want this to be false, but I think it is true. I think it is warm fermented. The wheat part is throwing me off, but I'm going to say true.
All right, I'm going true on this as well.
Okay. Getting a lot of truths. Truths.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, Tiffany.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So it is warm fermented. It's an ale. So ales are top fermented. They ferment at a higher temperature than lagers, which are bottom and colder.
Mm-hmm. Butt fermented, as I call it. Mouth fermented or butt fermented. I try to speak in terms I understand.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, it originates from Goslar, Germany, and I may be butchering that name.
100%.
But it's brewed with at least 50% of the grain bill being malted wheat.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually don't have a prominent hop bitterness. The flavors and aroma are usually relatively mild. And it is, hold on, let me read my notes. Oh, so it's usually coriander, salt are your two kind of
on the screen.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad. Thanks.
That's all right. I enjoy hearing it.
Yeah.
Because I can't read. So actually, when it popped up across the bottom, I was like, it seems like that's what Tiffany's saying, but I can't confirm or deny that.
Yeah, no. I was so I did trivia early, so I knew all the answers, but I hadn't collected the answers and put them together into one single document.
Okay.
Until 7, when I finally was like, I need to stop working, do show work, and then maybe throw my life together because I was off camera all day. So anyway.
So it's from Goslar, but why do you think it's called Gose?
So, and I know the pronunciation of it is Gose,
Mm-hmm.
Historically. That's such a weird pronunciation because I have heard people call it a Gose. I've heard people call it, I think it's like a tomato thing. I don't know if you actually have to say Gose.
It's Gose.
But I'm surprised they didn't call it a Goslar.
Right. I agree with you. I think it should be Goslar.
Maybe.
And it should star on Saved by the Bell as Zach
Morris.
Morris.
It and misspelled it, and then it just became a thing.
Or maybe from Germany, they were like, it's a Goslar. And they were just like, yeah, Gose.
Or maybe it was like, I don't know, around 1945, and they're like, from Germany, we're just going to call it a Gose. No one will know that's where it's from. I think we history different.
You reading my questions?
No, but
World
I
War
do.
II literally comes up.
Does
in
it really?
this.
Yes. But I do just want to point out the fact that I was slowly reaching for a Mark Paul Goslar joke and a Saved by the Bell reference. I couldn't quite connect the dots.
I'm
very upset that I didn't think of this because I've been rewatching Saved by the Bell, the college years for some reason.
Yeah, aren't you on a tropical island, dummy?
I am wasting my time sitting on a couch watching Saved by the Bell, the college years.
God.
What is wrong with me?
River and Park Gose.
Yes. Just do not say Gose. Too scary.
Okay. Next question. We gotta keep this going.
Yeah, we've gone too far down the rabbit hole.
That's
there.
fine. All right. The Gose style dates back to what century? The 13th, 15th, or 17th? And I did the math there for you just in case you're not familiar with the way that centuries and dates work.
Honestly, I'm really glad you did because I know that, but at the same time, I always have to go 12 centuries, 12 minus 1.
It's really for you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Honest.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make everybody feel included. Like, we're not going to have a meeting because one person up, or we are, and we're going to make an announcement like, hey, don't forget, it's protocol to do this, and not look directly at the person that did it wrong because that would be not great HR. I'm going to say B. I think it's the 15th century. It's in the 1400s. Monks were banging them out.
Yeah. I'm going to go right there with you on this one. I'm thinking it's the exact same.
Well, Vero's going later.
Well, Vero's going A.
Well, she's going uppercase A because originally.
But Abby's also going A, so this is really a big toss-up.
Do we know if it's Abby or Kevin?
13. No, it's Abby. She meant that was Kevin at the fire. Like I was not responsible for that.
Oh, okay.
13 is not a letter, so that's not a correct answer. Andrew put C. Period. He's so confident. C. End of story.
Uh-oh.
It's both Abby and Kevin.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Listen, I'd hate to explain YouTube viewership to you guys, but if y'all could log in on 2 separate accounts, if you want to watch the show, even if it's together.
Really helpful.
Brings those viewer numbers up.
All right, when you're done coughing, give us the answer to this one.
No, I'm stuck in a loop.
Just talk through it. Just cough and talk.
Yeah, I got it. All right, I'm going to read this. Holy crap. In the year.
You know what Tiffany needs? She needs this shirt.
I 100% agree. 100% agree. So, all right. So we know the Gose was produced in Goslar.
Yeah.
Mark Paul.
Mark Paul Goslar.
Lower Saxony, and it's home to the Gose River, which we already discussed. The beer's popularity didn't take off until 1738, but as early as 1000. Which 1000 is such a weird number because 1100 is one thing, 1200 is one, but just 1000.
Yeah.
It feels weird. But the beer didn't take off until 1738 when Goslar's small town brewers found a larger market for the beer in the nearby cities of 2 cities. This is written just like Tiffany would write it, by the way.
I can imagine.
This is.
So wait, what was the answer? I'm already lost.
Production couldn't quench the thirst of
Welcome back.
Town. And then so said town Gose was born. Its popularity exploded with over 80 Gosen Shankens. I don't speak German. That's why I don't do this.
I don't know if I'm ready to talk yet.
Oh. All right. So the moral of the story is
Gose taverns. That's the way you're trying to say. There are more than 80 Gose taverns.
I thought you were saying that was the moral of the story. I was like, I don't think that's the moral of the story.
Anyway, most popular one during the 1800s. They were actually like there was a waiting list to get their beer. And then even in established pubs, they only got an allocated amount of beer for each delivery.
So they were basically the Veil. They were the German Veil.
Sure.
There's a brewer near us that hypes their beers really well and sells limited quantities of it. And yeah.
All right.
We might get through question 3. I don't know.
There it is.
Okay.
All right. True or false? Gose beers defy the German Reinheitsgebot purity laws.
Ooh.
A Gose seems like a beer that would fuck the man. Like, because it's not. I'm gonna say true. I'm not looking at the comments before any of the brewers chime in, but I'm gonna say true because I want Gose to be that beer that's like, hey, I tell you what, you.
Well, I think it is true because of the coriander and the salt and all that. And I don't think you can put anything else in the beer except for what's supposed to be in it.
You can do whatever you want.
Do you know what's supposed to be in it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do, but I want everyone else to talk about it in the comment section.
But we were talking for so long while you were coughing. We're real tired.
Yeah.
So if you could.
So water, barley, yeast, and hops. And technically yeast wasn't even in there because they originally weren't sure what the hell was happening.
Right, they're just like, something ate my beer.
What's happening?
All right, so then the answer to this is
true.
So it is true. The beer type is older than the purity laws. So the purity laws is from 1516.
Yes.
And so that was kind of the way that they were able to like skirt it. So it was still actually able to be served within Germany, even when this law became a thing.
Sneaking them right under their nose. I love it.
But yeah, so with the malted wheat and the coriander, it wasn't standard anymore. So it wasn't pure based on those German laws.
Right.
And so this also is a spontaneous, or at least used to be a spontaneous fermentation. And so the wort cools while it's exposed to open air. So that allows the yeast and bacteria of whatever is local to actually inoculate and create the fermentation. And so that's what results the like tart herbal characteristics. And then Vero actually mentioned this, but the salty water from the near Goslar River is actually what created that initial saltiness in the beer. Yeah. So anyway, fun fact, after they put the brew into barrels, Gose breweries would then deliver them to the taverns where they would let them continue to ferment in the cool, dark basements. And I swear to God, this is what the whole of this thing is called. The bung hole of the barrel.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You didn't know the little knockouts?
I was giggling so hard.
Not funny at all.
It's not funny at all. And every time, so it's like
12-year-old Tiffany was like,
it's like being in the contracting world. Like you got to get used to certain things being called things that make 12-year-old you laugh inside. So, anytime you need a threaded nipple in plumbing, you got to be like, nipple. But you got to do it like in your head, not out loud.
Yeah. But anyway, so the bung hole there would be closed, but the shiv hole would remain open so that the foam or the krausen would escape the barrel. And so then when the foam stopped bubbling through that hole on top, the beer was then poured into long neck bottles. And so instead, at that point of capping the bottles with like a cork, like you would with wine,
sure,
they were left open. And then a second fermentation and the active yeast would actually rise the top and it would form a natural plug.
Nice. But anytime we talk about like these beer processes from way back when, I'm like,
crazy.
Like the internet exists now. Like if I wanted to like make a beer, I could probably go and source it out and like, have the information available to me.
Mm-hmm.
Some jackass was just like, I don't know what happened. I forgot to put the cap on. Now I can't get in there. It's got like a cap somehow natural. Like we should study that and do it.
Well, this is like similarly to like how do people find out what mushrooms or like what plants you could and couldn't eat?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to me that people just were like, I don't know, let's try it.
Yeah.
It's like for me as a person who like if I don't know anything, I'm like, I'm just gonna Google it. Like the fact that wasn't available to people, or they didn't like have like Encyclopedia Britannica to like just go and get. Anyway,
what kind of money did you have growing up? You had Encyclopedia Britannica and the internet?
I had the CD-ROM encyclopedia in my personal computer in my room,
Jeez.
which I built. I know.
Nerd alert.
I was finding porn I found in a dumpster underneath of my carpet
No.
and reinstalling carpet every night.
Mm-mm.
I just want to show the difference here.
I had built my own computer. My dad at one point took away my internet cable, so I had the it's not LAN. Is it a LAN cable? Yeah. I had it. I went to Radio Shack down the street and bought another one and then hid it in my backpack. And then
Good
he
old Shack.
Anyway.
I love Radio Shack. Their Twitter is so good if you don't follow it.
It is good.
They're
Between
wild
that one
animals.
and then Washington's whoever took over Washington's public national park Twitter feed. Whoever owns that now is fantastic. They just did a whole thing on volcanoes, and I highly recommend it. I love Twitter, and I'm so sad that it might be going away. Hey, that was question 3.
Thank you.
Sorry. What are you drinking?
It doesn't matter. I want to know what Phil's drinking. I know what we're drinking. I'm excited to see what Phil's drinking.
No, talk about what you're drinking first, because you're doing the Goses. So talk about your Goses, and then I'll talk about what I've got.
All right, go ahead, Tiffany.
Okay, so yesterday, while I was waiting for a child to do child school things,
so much backstory.
I was at Virginia Beer Company, and AJ or Aaron, one of the assistant brewers, comes out and he's like, if I don't see Pie Problem on your show tomorrow, I'm going to be really upset. One, he has not once mentioned anything in the comments here that he's even around. So, Aaron, here I am about to drink the beer that you were like, it better be on there, and you're nowhere to be found. So, shots fired. But I am drinking their Pie Problem, and it is a key lime Gose, and it is, they've done this a couple different times, but the key lime pie is fantastic. The one thing that he always talks about is I wish I could just get more graham cracker flavor, but I got to do something different, and I don't know if they're going to let me. So obviously it just needs more,
graham cracker. Yeah, I would say if you're trying to get more graham cracker out of the beer, I would start with more graham cracker. But again, not something I do for a living. I would never question Aaron, but that'd be where I would start. I'd be like, man, where are those honey made graham crackers we bought 6 years ago? Forgot about them in the back of the pantry, but somehow are still good.
A while ago.
Maybe they need to throw some marshmallow in it too. Give that the little cream thing that you put on top of a key lime pie.
What is the little cream thing you put on top of a key lime pie?
Yeah, no one asked. You don't want to know where it comes from. You don't want to know.
It's Cool Whip.
So in the somewhat similar vein, I am having the Hang 10 Gose from Tradition. I think Tiffany and I actually drank this one out of the bright tank.
Yes.
When we were brewing there.
And we
this one was in the bright tank.
Yeah.
And I think we actually had a first taste of this one as well. So it's been a while since I've had it. I know there's a lot of mango pineapple. I'm looking forward to trying it again so that I can see if I get a lot of the things that I'm supposed to get out of it now that it's been years.
I just got to ask about, Tiffany, the color of your beer is so unexpected for me. When you're talking about key lime pie and then it comes out like that, it's a little lighter than it initially looked.
Yeah, it's lighter than it looks.
It looked almost like red for a second. And I was like, what is going on over there?
Yeah, look. It's actually.
So Daniel, what's the main flavor point of your Gose?
If I remember correctly, this one's guava and pineapple. Obviously, Hang 10.
Probably on the can. Yeah,
I'm pouring it right now. God damn it! Can I have a minute?
Mango, pineapple, passion fruit, and guava.
So, and obviously, Hang 10 being a reference to surfing. If you didn't know that, I assume you knew that, right?
Ping 10, bruh.
Phil, you did a lot of surfing.
Oh, so much surfing.
So it's
No,
actually
I'm more of a stand-up paddleboard kind of guy.
I'm excited for that, actually.
I love my stand-up paddleboard.
So on the back of it, it's listed as Hawaiian punch style Gose with sea salt, mango, guava, pineapple, and passion fruit.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah. And it is Hawaiian punch is pretty accurate on the nose.
Let's do this next question and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Originally, Gose brews were spontaneously fermented, which we already talked about, which was how all beers were fermented until which century? And that was when yeast was discovered. So was yeast discovered in the 15th, 17th, or 19th century?
Okay.
That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I don't know when yeast was discovered, other than, maybe when I was like 15 or 16 was the first time I discovered yeast. But
you're with the wrong person.
Yeah, I know. That's why it didn't work out. I mean, I had to figure out what it was. I had to go to my Encyclopedia Britannica.
It didn't work out 16 years later, but, we've got there.
But we finally figured it out. So I'm actually with Vero on this one because I do think that it is the 19th century.
God, I was way off.
You're gonna be okay, Bill.
Now that's 20th Century Fox is what you're thinking of, Scott.
20th Century Fox. Very different.
It happens.
Very different.
All right. Tiffany, what is it?
So, spontaneous fermentation, it's the oldest method of making alcohol.
Correct.
So before we knew what the yeast, bacteria, and all that stuff was, we basically just let it do its thing, and it just surprised us every time. And then it wasn't until the 17th century when a Dutch scientist actually observed microorganisms underneath the magnifying lens. And that's when we understood that the bugs even existed in the first place. And then in 1859, that's when we realized the role it was playing within fermentation.
Right.
So technically, yeast was found in the 17th century, but it wasn't until the 19th century that we knew that it was actually responsible for the fermentation.
Has some pastor really took a deep dive into it.
Louis Pasteur.
Oh, I thought he was a pastor.
No.
I read that wrong.
Pasteur, I assume.
I hate this show more every time we do it.
I literally thought, I wasn't looking because I'm trying to figure out this other thing, but when you said that, I thought someone left that as a comment. I was like, not surprised at all.
They've been reading my encyclopedia.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, that second fermentation created that additional cap.
Yep.
And it was a relatively unsafe way of keeping the beer.
It sounds really safe.
So if you shook the bottle a little bit too much, the little cork would jump out essentially, and there would be beer everywhere. Anyway.
It never happens.
That's all. That's all I have on that one.
All right. I think this is a loud question then.
All right.
It is.
Let's do it.
World War II killed the Gose style.
You're goddamn right it did. As soon as we killed everything, Gose died with it. I mean, it couldn't have killed it because we're drinking one right now.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You can't kill something that, unless we're drinking zombie beers.
You could Yeah.
I love the idea that Katie potentially has legs in a stirrup right now, and she's like, Pasteur supported the drinking cause. Get this baby out.
Yeah, she's just excited that she's eventually going to be able to drink again.
World War II killed the Gose style. Maybe the best shirt we're ever going to make, by the way. Take away true or false. It just shirt says World War II killed the Gose style.
That's absolutely the shirt. This is the earliest we've ever had a shirt for next week. So come back next week. That shirt will be it.
And we need to make it like the MTV graphics of
video killed the radio star.
Yeah. I was like, hold on, wait.
Yeah, sorry.
Hey. Who does the designing here? All right.
Yeah, we're just here to help consult.
When this idea comes up,
The last thing anyone needs is a consultant.
Also, what up? Age, sex, location. Cool story. Hit me up on my MySpace.
That's where they told me that they were going to have the baby, apparently. So I got to figure out what my login is.
All right, so we're having it currently, but I think it probably did kill it for a long period of time before somebody found it back out about it, because everything was so anti-German coming out of World War II that we probably didn't want anything to do with a German beer, a German anything. So I'm going to say true, technically.
This is one of those true or false circle ones for me, I think, because it all depends on what the definition of killed is. Because you're right, if it killed it, but we're drinking it,
you shot it in the head. Oh,
it knocked it down, but it didn't kill it. So I'm going false on this one.
The Gose is like tub thumping here. It gets knocked down, but
it gets back up again.
All right. At the onset of World War II, the production of Gose, as well as a bunch of other German beers, ceased to exist. Known producers, they began shutting the doors, and in 1945, the East German government actually closed down the last remaining Gose brewery. The beer became somewhat extinct, and then in 1966, after a long, drawn-out demise where there was only
Vietnam brought it back.
Nope, where there was only a few passionate, albeit random pubs that kept up production, it was gone. Like, even they stopped doing it. So in 1966, like, it was the long demise that killed it. And so now, the German reunification was about 32 years ago. It was 1990. Yes, it is 32 years ago. There was two small brewers that decided they were going to redo this style. And so they actually bought some of the old areas that actually used to be the breweries. They actually got a bunch of the old equipment and all that sort of stuff. And now they're both major players in this Gose revival.
Interesting.
And then, I forgot to write this down, but Henderson Valley in Vermont, they were one of the first ones in America to bring the Gose style, and they actually just called it Gose. And it was one of the first ones here. And then
was the can art just as weak?
Pretty much, yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Are some of these photos that you have in here, Tiffany, needing to be seen?
They're just old photos that I thought were kind of cool. So this one is the Gose delivery with an old Gose carriage to the Gosen's Sancte or whatever. Anyway, so that was established in 1738. So cool. This is them bottling the beer in the cellar of one of the other major Gose breweries.
Wow.
So those are the weird bottles that, if you go back, that they had a very specific shape.
Right. So that it would double
do that double fermentation. Yeah. And then this one is just the interior of one of the other Gose breweries. That was what it looked like.
Nice. Is that guy playing with his bunghole? Is that what he's doing?
That is the bunghole. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. So he's got his tip right on the outside of the bunghole, and he's trying to figure out I don't know if this is going to fit in here. I don't know if I should be putting liquid in here.
Yeah, we've
My
all
mom
been there.
told me I wasn't supposed to.
Stop it.
And then,
Stop.
Eventually, like most things, you go for it and you realize everybody's going to be okay.
The worst. The worst.
I don't think I'm the worst, actually. I think there's
that was a clear explanation of the bunghole.
Thank you. I feel like it was a very clear explanation. And yes, as a label designer, you should definitely be terrified of us because it's literally where we spend all of our time. Beer is one thing, but can art is a whole different show.
Yeah,
we
have a long history of that. Mainly just Phil.
All right, so we don't have any sort of review tonight because we're all drinking just Goses in general.
Yeah.
Where do you put a Gose on your ordering stage though? If there's one on the menu, what's your odds of ordering it?
Usually after I've had 2 other flights.
Yep.
I mean, so it's not a style I gravitate towards in general, I will like I'll get it to check it in. I'll get a taster of it to check it in, but typically I'm not really that concerned on if it's good, if it's bad, if it's this. Like I'm getting it for the check-in because it's not my favorite style. That being said, the one I'm having is Hawaiian Punch. Now that I have it again, that's a pretty accurate description of it, which is kind of weird. It's not too tart, not too.
The Gose isn't meant to be tart. It's not the Berliner Weiss.
Okay. Good Lord, I can't even drink a beer anymore with you people. Like every time.
Where does the Gose?
Can I describe my experience with this beer without being indoctrinated on it? Anyway. So this beer historically is not made to be tart, like I was saying earlier before we went into that sound clip.
Those of you listening on the podcast only version, that was our struggle was real.
I apologize. One. No. So yeah, it's not a beer I typically gravitate towards more than anything else. I don't dislike them, but it's just not something I can drink a lot of because they typically give me heartburn. Sorry.
Yeah, for me, it's right up there with kind of like the sours in general. Like, I don't often want them. When I do have them, I'll have one, and it's kind of my tongue's kind of burnt off afterwards, and I'm good. But I find Goses are just a little easier to drink than a sour. So I'll go to a Gose before a sour.
Fair.
Tiffany, where does it go on your scale?
So I am such a, like, depending on what my mood is and what season it is, like that's kind of what beers I'm going to gravitate towards. Goses for me are really good, like summer and spring beers, or like weird Indian.
We picked
summer.
the perfect time of year then.
Or Indian summer, which I mean, like last week was like 80 degrees. But like it's usually a warmer, like temperature beer. However, every time I have a Gose, I'm always pleasantly surprised at how much I like them. So maybe I should finally just suck it up and start ordering them more. Because I do like that they are salty and sweet, with like really no, like they're not super hoppy. They're like, I don't know. It's like a juice version of beer without being too sour.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I do like salt in general.
Always good.
Fair.
Well, I'll just take a second to talk about this beer that I have, even though it's not a Gose, and I know it's International Gose night. But I couldn't find one here on the island. So tonight, hey, what up, Dave? He normally shows up earlier, so it's very weird to have Dave this late in the game.
I'm bored.
What the hell goes on over the? It's not going to work on that one. Keep going.
So this one I picked up because I thought it was kind of, it's this weird backwards thing that kind of made me laugh. So it's from Gallia, which is out of Paris, and it's a New England IPA, which is always weird to think about anyone in Europe making a version of an American beer. Like,
sure.
I mean, I guess it's an IPA, so yes, it started there, came here, and it's going back. And so it's funny to me to think like they would even do that. But what really makes me laugh about this is like they're like, oh, it's juicy. That's one of the things they write. But they also call it exotic.
Oh, because it's a New England IPA. It is exotic.
It's so confusing for me. like what? New England, exotic? What are you talking about?
You're exotic out there, Phil. Maybe you should check it out.
But either way, I love the can. The bottle jumped out at me. I thought it was really pretty.
Yeah.
I love the bottle. It comes in a 4-pack. It's a 6%er. They've done a good job with it being like a New Englandy. It's a little I can't tell if there's something that's not quite right with a New England to me, but overall it's actually very well done. So I was happy to find it. So
I think that is funny to have an exotic New England beer. Like that is a trip. Yeah.
Very confusing for me.
Very confusing.
I just like that as Americans, we don't label anything that's not ours as exotic. We're like, fuck you, it's ours now. Like,
No, I think we watch different porn, but yes, there are some exotic things that aren't from America that are labeled as.
I just more meant like the beers.
Oh,
like it's a
beer
Gose,
stuff. Yeah,
or it's a Gose style. Like it's not exotic. It's just we're making this beer now.
Here's my question: should they have had to have written New England style IPA?
No, because the reason behind that is that 15, 16 Reinheitsgebot, like there's so many very specific laws of like you can call it that because it's from this region, and even though it's from that region, there's nothing that like they've like documented that it needs to be
patented, basically.
It only needs to be in that area, so anyone can brew that style. It just originated in that location, but it's not generally like restricted to that area.
I just love everybody overseas like brews a New England IPA and it's called Style of Heady Topper. Like they don't even call it New England IPA. Like this is the only one we've had over here. So style.
I'd rather not know facts and just be mad about they didn't call it New England style. You know, like that's where I'm gonna stick to that.
I like that you would be upset about that. That's consistent with your character. Yes.
Yeah. Totally work.
I love it. Well, I think we got one more portion of the show left.
Hopefully someone has thought about it.
That's a big down. Oh, okay. So if you've seen us a million times, you sure this is coming. But if you're new here, this is the portion of the show where we just take a second to reflect on something that we wish was beer versus what it actually is. So Tiffany requested to go last.
Oh.
Which makes me
super
nervous. Super nervous.
Get ready. The show's ending at 11 then.
Yeah. I am getting raked over the coals. Raked. R-A-K-E-T.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. Raped over the coals is a whole different subreddit.
That is your exotic. Oh, no.
Very exotic.
All right.
So, Phil, would you like to go first?
Sure. This one's easy for me. So we've had a ton of rain here. I know I joked about how it blah, blah, blah. It only rains, but we've actually had a ton of rain here, which unfortunately means that we've got a ton of mosquitoes on top of that.
Yeah.
And tonight I was leaving work and I walked outside and my coworker like ran outside and he's like, "Hey, I got to talk to you for a second." And I just stood there while mosquitoes just attacked me. And I was like, "Dude, we don't need to talk about this right now." And but he was in like long sleeves and pants, and I was not. So I have avoided mosquitoes so far on this trip up until today. I wish they were beer so I could drink them instead of getting eaten by them.
Nice.
Mosquitoes are
Which sounds gross as well, but if they were beer, I'd probably do it.
Yeah, pretty gross, actually.
They ferment just the same.
Sick.
Yeah, mosquito beer.
Yeah.
Probably be a little coppery.
Gabriel just threw in, just out of the blue. I just got 2 inches of snow. I've never met Snow, but I assume he's a beautiful man.
Yeah, he did capitalize it. So
correct. Thank you.
Sorry, but I did hear that Buffalo, because of the warm water,
it's the lake effects now.
Right, but Buffalo was going to get like 4 feet of snow.
Yeah, and they got to play football Sunday. So Buffalo's football game Sunday is going to be pristine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mine's also relatively simple and yard related, like everything I do, because I'm a basic person. But I just wish this time of year that leaves and pine straw and pine needles were beer. So that way, as soon as I finished getting them done, there'd be another one waiting for me, and I'd be excited about that instead of doing the entirety of the yard just for the next day for it to all be back again, because that is frustrating.
You would have a lot of beers outside in those plastic bags.
I have a lot.
What's great though? We've got a beer coming up in 2 weeks that is piney.
Oh no, I'm excited about that.
Oh,
so it's very similar.
Yeah.
Yes, very similar. brought it all the way back somewhere.
Scott Jenkins says that Buffalo is going to be playing in Detroit.
Why is everybody making a big deal about the Buffalo weather then? Because I heard it on multiple sports things today. Because they're a bunch of wimps. I love they're going from Buffalo to Detroit, but they're wimps one way or the other. You can live in either one of those places in the winter. You're Dan Campbell.
I am not interested.
Abby wishes that side projects at the brewery were beer because then they would actually be beer instead of unpaid labor. I hope Kevin's still on this.
that might be Kevin. He's just posing as Abby.
No,
Abby, no, that's definitely
Abby does so many different side projects. So I request to go.
Here's my question though, Abby. Do you create the side projects or are you required to do the side projects?
Required to do the side projects.
Some people create their own side projects and then complain about them.
It's not Abby. I guarantee you that.
That is a valid point.
It is a valid point.
It's not Kevin.
All right.
No, so I wanted to go last because it was kind of a downer, and I'm sorry.
Why do you want to end on a downer?
Yeah, this is the most
start with the downer.
No, because I didn't want to like ruin.
Let's go out on a downer so no one watches an episode ever again. No,
well now everyone can leave.
Leave on a down note. Everyone loves leaving a show sad.
I'll fix it.
All right, go ahead.
No, so for those who know me, my dad died a long time ago. Today he would have been 60, and I wish that was beer because I miss him, and that just sucks. My brother, however, is turning 30 today. So on a high note, my brother is almost a full-grown adult.
Almost. He's a sweet boy.
So AJ, happy birthday. Thanks for spending your birthday here with me.
Oh, AJ's not in the comments?
Nope.
Oh, that's weird.
I did text him about it. I texted him happy birthday first.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So anyway, I just wish today was beer because it's always a good and bad day.
Yeah.
So
well, cheers to your dad and thank him for giving you that great hair.
I know. The hair, the sarcasm, a lot of my mannerisms.
Mannerisms?
Mannerisms.
I think that's different than mannerisms.
Yeah, because this is not my first beer. And I have been sick for a long time. So two beer activity is a real thing. I'm trying to baby it. It's like not even a high ABV. Like Goses are like 5 to 6%.
So the shirt is either World War II killed the Gose style, or how are my mannerisms?
No.
Oh, I'm concerned. I think Kevin is posting for Abby at this point. I've been released. The job is great.
No, that's just because someone who owns the brewery or is above them walked in. I'm here. Everything is great.
Super happy. Love it here. All right. Next week.
You tell me.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving next week.
I'm so thankful.
So next week we do have a show that will air next week. It will not be live because as much as we love everyone here, we have family.
I love gravy more.
We gotta do something with them.
Yeah.
We got to get drunk with our family instead of getting drunk with all of you. But for those of you who do want to still check in, we are going to have a show go up live on Thursday. And it's going to be kind of probably a freaking hot mess.
I'm so excited to rewatch it.
Next Thursday, we're going to go live. It will pretend like it goes live. And we are going to show some beer reviews, some unaired beer reviews that we have done and never aired because they're so off the wall and ridiculous.
And we were
already drunk when we started a lot of these beer reviews.
Yeah.
So I really, Phil, I wish you the best of luck with the editing process here because
there's going to be no editing. Straight through. We're just going to play it.
Can you just do it like they do with like fake editing the news? Can you like just throw in some bleeps in between everywhere we talk just to make it seem like, good Lord, why would you say that about that?
I didn't
well, and a heads up for anyone who's watched a lot of our older videos, we hit up some more Warhead beers. So Get excited because I'm pretty sure we drank some. I don't remember it, but I think we did.
My yard says that we did.
Yeah, we were like throwing cans, like kind of at / past the video camera.
It was rough.
I'm excited to revisit them because I haven't watched them since we recorded it. So I literally have no idea what these look like.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
some
so
remember
next Thursday, if you're sick of listening to your family, tune in at 8 o'clock. Watch some really sloppy beer reviews from us. And we do wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and hope everything goes well. Or not.
Yeah, I hope
Thanksgiving
everybody
never
gets to
does.
spend some time, at least a little bit off work, with family if you want to be with family, or with friends if you want to be with friends. But definitely eat some good food, hang out, relax a little bit.
Yes.
That's always the beauty of that holiday more than anything else.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it's just food and people.
Ugh, man,
It's my annual. It's my annual. I get to go see my family that lives an hour away from me. Day.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
I love my.
Used to be one of my favorite holidays.
Oh, stop! No, I for some so I love the Gata side of my family. It's like my dad's side, but for some dumb reason, I never see them until Thanksgiving.
And they live in Richmond, which
and
is
they're
like an
not
hour
that
north of
far.
us.
So it's always
drive farther for beer.
True story.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited because it's my annual time of getting to go hang out with people that I truly do enjoy, and we just don't make the time to do it. Both sides. I blame them.
Well,
too.
I'll be here celebrating it, so we'll see.
Oh wow! Enjoy your
I
tiny chicken or whatever
seem
comes
to
naturally on the
remember,
island.
that you will be not alone. Maybe.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, psych! You're alone.
Well, all right. Well, we thank everyone for coming tonight to our International Gose Day. It was a fun episode where I did not drink a Gose, but the two of you did.
It was great.
Just remember to follow us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, as long as it lasts. TikTok we're huge on TikTok now.
Fucking hundreds.
God, it's nothing but shirtless Daniel at this
hundreds of views.
God, we have 1s to 10s of views going up on TikTok. It is blowing up. And what else are we on? That's it. Oh, and go buy a shirt. Support the show. There's a great one right now where you can support that you're dying slowly.
Yep.
And
much like Cake sang about.
And while we are not live next week, we do wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy it. There's some Easter eggs in the video that's going to air next week. And then we will see you again December 1st.
Yes.
I think December 1st.
I will not be here.
We don't need to discuss this currently.
I just realized that. It's fine.
Great.
I'll record myself.
Great.
Well, December 1st, it'll be up on the website soon. We are drinking a Spruce Tip beer out of Transmitter. And I know how much Daniel loves the Spruce Tip. Just the tip, though. He doesn't like the whole thing.
I ain't taking the whole branch.
Happy Thanksgiving, you two. Have a good week next week.
Bye,
You too,
everyone.
bud. Just good to see you.
Bye.